You pulled the pizza out of the oven. Not because you planned dinner, not because anyone asked. Because it was Friday and the kids were hungry and the freezer had an answer. You slid it in, set the timer, and for 20 minutes the kitchen smelled exactly like it always has. Exactly like Friday nights growing up. That smell is real. What produced it is a different conversation. Frozen pizza is the most purchased frozen food in the United States. More than $2 billion in annual retail sales. Built on an ingredient architecture most of the families pulling it out of the oven have never been invited to read. Processed cheese product instead of real mozzarella. Soy protein. Isolate, extending the meat toppings. Cellulose in the cheese blend. TBHQ in the crust. A wood pulp derivative and a synthetic antioxidant on a product the packaging describes as pizza. 3 parent companies own the majority of what is in this freezer aisle. Nestle, General Mills, Kraft Heinz. They own 4 of the 8 failing brands you are about to watch. 11 brands. One test, the worst ones first. Position 11, Totino's, the party pizza that never invited the ingredient list. Pick up a Totino's party pizza at your next grocery run. Turn it over, find the ingredient list. Read past the crust, keep reading. Processed cheese product, soy protein isolate. TBHQ. Processed cheese product is not mozzarella. It is not cheese in any form your grandmother would recognize. It is a manufactured substitute, a blend of modified cheese, vegetable oils, and emulsifying salts, engineered to melt consistently at scale. Real mozzarella requires milk, cultures, and time. Processed cheese product requires a different kind of factory. Totino's is owned by General Mills, one of the 3 parent companies named in the opening. General Mills did not acquire Totino's to improve the ingredient list. It acquired Totino's in 1971. The brand already dominated the low-price frozen pizza segment. The ingredient architecture you are reading today is 5 decades of margin optimization inside one of the largest food corporations in the world. TBHQ is tertiary butyl hydroquinone, a synthetic antioxidant added to extend shelf life. The European Food Safety Authority has flagged TBHQ for potential immune system effects at repeated exposure levels. It remains fully legal in the United States. The FDA has set no restriction on its use in frozen food. It is in the crust of the pizza most American children have eaten at every sleepover, every birthday party, every Friday night for the past 50 years. For parents who reach for Totino's because it is the most affordable option and everyone will eat it without complaint, the gap between what the front of the box implies and what the back lists is not a minor footnote. It is every party your child has ever attended. To Totino's credit, the brand is transparent about one thing: the price. It has never pretended to be something it is not. $1 a pizza is a real value for a household managing a tight weekly budget. The price is honest. What it was built on is not. The next brand costs twice as much. The infrastructure behind it will feel familiar. Position 10, Tombstone, the American icon, built on a private equity balance sheet. Find a Tombstone frozen pizza in your freezer or at your store. Look at the packaging, the bold lettering, the rugged Western imagery, the "What do you want" on your Tombstone tagline that has been running in American living rooms since 1982. Now find Kraft Heinz anywhere on that packaging. Take as long as you need. It is not prominent. What is prominent is the American identity, the heritage, the feeling that this brand belongs to the culture the same way baseball and road trips do. Kraft Heinz does not need to be on the front. The Tombstone is doing the selling. Kraft Heinz owns Tombstone, the same corporation this channel identified behind Oscar Mayer in the deli turkey investigation. The same private equity engineered merger between Kraft Foods and H.J. Heinz, orchestrated by 3G Capital in 2015. The same cost optimization philosophy applied to a different freezer aisle. One investigation, 2 categories, one parent company appearing in both. The ingredient list behind that rugged identity contains modified food starch, artificial flavors, and a mozzarella blend that includes cellulose. Cellulose on a pizza label is the same wood pulp derivative that appeared in the taco chain category. It appears here to extend the cheese volume, to reduce the real mozzarella required per pizza. Heritage imagery on the front has never mentioned that. For budget shoppers, choosing Tombstone because it felt like a trusted American staple, Kraft Heinz balance sheet is the document the branding was never designed to surface. The ruggedness is real. It belongs to the logo, not to the ownership structure behind it. To Tombstone's credit, the brand has maintained consistent pricing in a category where shrinkflation has quietly reduced product weight while holding price points. In this category, that consistency is not nothing. Does the brand you have been buying for decades know it shares a parent company with the deli turkey your family also trusts? Go check the frozen pizza and the deli meat in your kitchen right now. Tell us in the comments how many Kraft Heinz products you just found. Most people are about to be surprised. The next brand built its identity around an American legend. Most buyers have never met the company behind it. Position 9. Red Baron. The all-American brand, with a South Korean parent. Nobody printed on the box. Go to your freezer right now. Pull out your Red Baron pizza if you have one. Find the front panel. Find the fighter pilot. Find the bold American confidence the brand has projected for over 50 years. Now search the entire package for the name CJ Chiljedang. Take as long as you need. It is not there. The fighter pilot is there. The American identity is there. The South Korean parent company that paid $1.84 billion to own this brand is not mentioned anywhere on the packaging. Red Baron was created by Schwan Food Company in 1976, a Minnesota-based frozen food company. American-owned, American-operated. For decades, the brand sat inside a genuinely domestic food business with roots in the Midwest. In 2019, CJ Chiljedang acquired Schwan Food Company, $1.84 billion, among the largest food conglomerates in Asia, headquartered in Seoul, operating in over 100 countries. The Minnesota roots are still on the brand story page. The ownership is not. The ingredient panel reflects the same consolidated supply chain architecture as every brand ranked below it today. Modified food starch in the crust. Artificial flavors in the sauce. A mozzarella blend that contains ingredients real mozzarella does not require. The foreign acquisition did not clean the formula, it inherited it. For seniors who bought Red Baron for decades, the 2019 acquisition postdates the loyalty. The trust was earned under different ownership. It is being spent under different management. To Red Baron's credit, the brand offers one of the widest frozen pizza variety ranges in this test. Thin crust, deep dish, personal size, and brick oven varieties give genuine options across different household needs. Variety at a consistent price point is real consumer value. The fighter pilot on the box never changed. The company holding the controls did. The next brand carries a name you recognize from somewhere other than a freezer aisle. That recognition is doing a lot of work. Position 8. California. Pizza Kitchen Frozen. The restaurant name that stayed on the label. When the kitchen left the building. Next time you are standing in the freezer aisle, find the California Pizza Kitchen box. Look at the name. Feel what it implies. A real kitchen. A real chef. The same quality you have sat down to at the table. Now find the ingredient list on the back. Find the artificial flavors. Find the cellulose in the cheese blend. Find the modified food starch in the crust. They are all there. California. Pizza. Kitchen, the restaurant, and the frozen product are connected by a licensing agreement. Not by a kitchen, not by a chef. The restaurant lent its name to a frozen product, manufactured by a separate food company, under separate ingredient standards. The name traveled, the kitchen did not. California Pizza. Kitchen Frozen sits above DiGiorno, above Red Baron, above Tombstone, on the price shelf. That premium is being paid for a name. The formula behind that name contains the same additive architecture as brands costing half as much. Modified food starch. Artificial flavors. A cheese blend that includes cellulose. The same wood pulp derivative appearing across the failing tier of this ranking. For health-conscious millennials who chose it because the restaurant name implied higher standards, the licensing agreement is the detail the premium price was never designed to surface. You were not buying the restaurant's kitchen. You were buying the right to display its name on your kitchen counter. To California Pizza Kitchen Frozen's credit, the brand offers a wider range of non-traditional topping combinations than most brands in this test. Variety and flavor creativity are genuine differentiators. The formula behind those toppings is the part creativity does not fix. The next brand skips the restaurant association entirely. It skips beyond that is a longer list. Position 7. Walmart Great Value. Frozen pizza, the price you can trust, the rest you cannot verify. Go to the Walmart website right now. Search Great Value Frozen Pizza, find the sourcing page, find the cheese supplier, find the facility where this pizza was manufactured, find the ingredient standard governing what goes into the crust. Take as long as you need. Check every tab. It is not there. None of it is there. Great Value frozen pizza is produced through Walmart's private label, supply chain, multiple contracted manufacturers, locations not disclosed, standards not published in any form the consumer can access at the shelf or at home. The manufacturer filling Great Value boxes this month is not the same one from last month. The box will not change. The facility already has 0. That is the number of sourcing disclosures published on any Great Value frozen pizza package or its associated product page. 0 cheese supplier names, 0 manufacturing facility locations, 0 ingredient sourcing standards cited, 0 antibiotic or welfare commitments on any topping meat. Hold that number. You will need it before this ranking ends. For fixed-income households buying Great Value because it is the most affordable option at the most accessible retailer, that 0 is not an abstraction. It is the answer to every question the box was never required to answer. What Great Value delivers is real. The price is honest. The distribution is genuine. The value is not a trick. The transparency is not there. To Great Value's credit, the product is consistently priced below every brand in this ranking. Brands above it charge double for marginally different ingredient lists. Great Value does not pretend otherwise. The price is the one thing on this box that tells you exactly what it is. The next brand charges even less. The explanation on the box runs out even faster. Position 6. Aldi Mama Coco's Casa Mamita, the lowest price in the aisle, the least explanation. Anywhere on the box. Find an Aldi frozen pizza at your store, any variety. Turn the box over completely. Find the manufacturer name, find the facility location, find the cheese sourcing standard, find any statement about where the ingredients in this pizza came from before they reach this box. Read every panel. Take as long as you need. It is not there. The box does not open. Aldi's frozen pizza operates on the same sealed model as every other Aldi private label product. No manufacturer named, no facility disclosed, no ingredient sourcing cited. Aldi sources through a contracted supplier network that shifts based on price availability across purchasing cycles. The product in the box this week traveled through a different facility than the one next month. The label will look identical. The price is the lowest in this ranking. Lower than Totino's, lower than Great Value. That price is real, and it is not an accident. It is the output of a supply chain optimized entirely around cost. No published standard exists on what that optimization is permitted to sacrifice. The honest complication: Aldi's frozen pizza often cooks well. The crust browns, the cheese melts. The value is real on the nights it works. The problem is not the price. It is not the product on its best day. When it does not work, you will have no way of knowing why. The box will not tell you. Aldi will not tell you. The supplier's name is not on the box. You do not know it exists. To Aldi's credit, the brand has never dressed up its model as something it is not. No heritage story, no farm in the name, no restaurant association borrowing credibility it did not earn. Aldi is what it says it is, lowest price in the aisle. The explanation ends there. The next brand convinced a generation it was not delivery. It never mentioned what happened to the size. Position 5. DiGiorno. Not delivery. Not what it used to be. Open your freezer right now. Find the DiGiorno box. Look at the size printed on the packaging. Now think about the last DiGiorno you bought 2 years ago, 3 years ago, 5 years ago. The box looks the same. Find the weight on the current one. It is smaller. The pizza you are holding today is not the same size as the one your family has been buying for years. The box stayed the same. The price stayed the same. The pizza got smaller. That is not an accident. That is a business decision. DiGiorno is owned by Nestlé, the largest food company in the world. Nestlé owns DiGiorno because it generates hundreds of millions in annual frozen food revenue. When that revenue needs protecting, the easiest lever to pull is the one nobody is watching. The size of the pizza, not the price on the shelf. DiGiorno has reduced pizza size and weight across multiple product lines over the past 5 years. The weight reductions are documented in consumer product databases and independent grocery tracking reports. The marketing did not announce them. The box did not shrink visibly. The pizza inside did. The ingredient panel behind the shrinking pizza contains modified food starch, soy protein, isolate in the meat toppings, artificial flavors. The rising crust that convinced a generation it was not delivery now contains a longer ingredient list than the original formulation. Nestlé optimized both the size and the formula in the same direction, away from what made the product worth buying in the first place. For families who have served DiGiorno on Friday nights for a decade, the documented size reductions are the thing the Friday night ritual was never designed to surface. The treat got smaller, The price did not follow it down. To DiGiorno's credit, the rising crust technology remains genuinely distinctive in the frozen pizza category. No other brand at this price point replicates it. The texture innovation is real. The size and ingredient decisions sit on top of something that actually worked. Did the pizza you have been serving your family on Friday nights get smaller without you noticing? Go check the weight on the DiGiorno box in your freezer right now. Then tell us in the comments what it says. Most families are about to check for the first time. The next brand gave away every dollar it ever made. The ingredient list did not receive the same generosity. Position 4. Newman's Own. The charity is real. The health halo is borrowed. Pick up a Newman's Own frozen pizza at your store. Find the charity messaging on the front of the box. Find the 100% profits to charity claim. Find the Paul Newman photograph. Find the warmth the brand has built across 4 decades of genuine philanthropic giving. Now turn the box over. Find the ingredient list. Find the sodium figure per serving. Take as long as you need. Newman's Own donates 100% of profits to charity. That giving model is real. It is documented. It has directed over $500 million to charitable causes since 1982. That is not a marketing claim. It is a verifiable financial record belonging entirely to the Newman's Own Foundation, one of the most genuine corporate giving commitments in American food history. It has also created something the ingredient list did not earn: a health halo. The charity is real. The assumption that charity equals clean ingredients is not. Newman's Own frozen pizza contains artificial flavors, modified food starch, and sodium levels per serving that rival brands this ranking placed in the failing tier. The good feeling the brand generates is real. It belongs to the foundation, not to the nutrition panel. The crust contains the same modified food starch appearing across the failing tier. The cheese blend contains ingredients that real mozzarella does not require. For cancer survivors who reached for Newman's Own because the philanthropic identity implied something cleaner, the gap between the feeling the brand generates and what the ingredient list delivers is not a minor distinction. It is the reason they chose it over every other box in the freezer aisle. To Newman's Own genuine credit, the brand has never hidden its ingredient list. Full disclosure is there on the back of every box without requiring a barcode scan or a website search. The giving is real. The health assumption the giving accidentally created is the part Newman's Own never asked for and never corrected. Before this ranking moves to the brands that passed, stop. What comes next is not another brand verdict. It is the system that made every position you just watched possible. Stop. Before we get to the brands that passed, count something first. Nestlé owns DiGiorno. Nestlé owns Tombstone. Nestlé owns California. Pizza Kitchen Frozen. General Mills owns Totino's. 4 brands, 2 parent companies, 1 freezer aisle wearing 8 different logos. That system sets the commodity price every brand in this ranking pays for cheese, for crust, for processed meat toppings. When that price rises, the additive architecture expands. More modified starch, more soy protein isolate, more artificial flavors replacing what real ingredients would have cost. Cellulose appeared in 3 of the 8 failing brands, a wood pulp derivative. On a product the packaging calls pizza, 8 brands, 2 parent companies, 0 labels telling you any of this. 3 brands navigated that system differently. The best one last. Position 3. Screamin' Sicilian, the independent that actually read its own ingredient list. Next time you are in the frozen pizza aisle, find the Screamin' Sicilian box. Before it goes in your cart, find the cheese in the ingredient list. Read what kind it is. Real mozzarella, named specifically. No cheese blend, no cellulose, no processed cheese product engineered to approximate what mozzarella tastes like at lower cost. In this category, that distinction is rarer than it should be. Screamin' Sicilian is owned by Palermo's, a family-owned Milwaukee pizza company. Over 50 years in the category. Never acquired by Nestlé, never absorbed by General Mills, never restructured by a private equity firm optimizing for margin. That independence is visible in the ingredient list in a way the brands ranked below it are not. The meat toppings contain real named proteins. No soy protein isolate, no modified food starch binding a processed filling together. The sauce contains tomatoes, olive oil, and garlic. Count the recognizable ingredients on a Screamin' Sicilian label. Then hold that number against the 0 sourcing disclosures on the Great Value product page earlier in this test. That gap is the distance between a brand that reads its own ingredient list and a supply chain never required to publish one. For health-conscious millennials who have worked through every brand in this freezer aisle and found the same additive architecture at every price point, this is the answer most of the frozen pizza case has been hiding behind louder branding. The honest caveat, sodium levels here are among the highest across these 11 brands, including the failing tier. Real cheese and real toppings do not automatically mean low sodium. The ingredient integrity is real. The sodium load requires awareness, available at most major national retailers, priced above the failing tier. The premium buys a formula that does not require a chemistry degree to read. The next brand went further. Every ingredient certified. The founding story behind it is the reason this category has a better option at all. Position 2. Amy's Kitchen. The organic promise that survived a bankruptcy. The label never mentioned. Find an Amy's Kitchen frozen pizza at your store. Find the certified organic seal on the front. Find the non-GMO verified seal. Then read the full ingredient list from first word to last. Organic tomatoes, organic mozzarella, organic wheat flour, organic olive oil, every major ingredient certified. Every certification independently verified. No artificial flavors, no artificial preservatives, no modified food starch, no cellulose in the cheese, no soy protein isolate in the toppings. In a category where cellulose appeared in 3 of the 8 failing brands, that is not a marginal distinction. It is structural. Amy's Kitchen was founded in 1987 by Andy and Rachel Berliner. The founding purpose was specific: organic convenience food for families who needed a faster option without sacrificing what went into the product. That purpose is still visible in the ingredient list today. In 2023, Amy's Kitchen filed for bankruptcy protection. The restructuring was publicly documented. The organic certifications did not lapse. The non-GMO verification held. The ingredient standards that defined the brand before the filing defined it after. The financial history is worth knowing. The product standards survived what the finances did not. For families with young children searching for a frozen pizza that delivers what they would cook from scratch on a better night, Amy's Kitchen is the closest the frozen aisle gets to that answer at national scale. The honest caveat: Amy's carries the highest price point in this entire ranking, significantly above Screamin' Sicilian, well above every failing brand, and availability outside Whole Foods and major grocery chains remains inconsistent. The organic promise is real. Reaching it requires budget and geography not every family has. The next brand is not the most organic product in this case. It is the one that works for the most families on the most Friday nights. Position 1. Kirkland's Signature Costco. Not the fanciest box in the freezer, the most honest one. Walk into a Costco. Find the frozen food section. Locate the Kirkland Signature frozen pizza. Pick up the box. Read the full ingredient list on the back panel from first word to last. Real mozzarella. No cellulose. No processed cheese product. No soy protein isolate. No artificial flavors. No artificial preservatives. No TBHQ in the crust. An ingredient list shorter than DiGiorno, Red Baron, Tombstone, and California Pizza Kitchen Frozen, at a price per pizza that sits below every brand in the passing tier. That combination does not exist anywhere else in this ranking. Real ingredients, no artificial additives. At a price a normal family can sustain every Friday night without a budget conversation. That is why Kirkland sits at position 1, not because it is the most certified product in the case. Amy's Kitchen beats it on organic verification. Screamin' Sicilian beats it on independent ownership. Kirkland wins because the family loading a cart on Saturday morning can put it back in the freezer every single week without the math getting complicated. The sensory difference is immediate. The cheese melts without the oily separation processed cheese product produces. The crust holds its structure. The sauce tastes like tomatoes rather than a compound designed to approximate them. A shorter ingredient list behaves differently in the oven. You will notice it the first time. The honest caveat: Kirkland sources from multiple contracted suppliers. Full facility-level traceability is not published. What is published is the standard every supplier must meet. And Costco's return policy puts something real behind that standard. That accountability is not nothing. Amy's Kitchen is the most certified product in this case. Screamin' Sicilian is the most independently owned. Kirkland is the one that works for the most families on the most Friday nights. That is the win that matters. What to do right now: open your freezer. Pull out every frozen pizza box in there. Turn each one over, find the ingredient list, search for 4 things: processed cheese product, cellulose, soy protein isolate, TBHQ. If any of those appear, you are holding a box. This investigation just explained. When you replace it, look for one thing: real mozzarella named specifically in the ingredient list. Not a cheese blend, not a processed cheese product. The word mozzarella standing alone. That is your new standard. Every brand in the passing tier today met it. Most of the failing tier never came close. Which frozen pizza has been in your freezer every Friday night without question? Drop the brand in the comments. You might surprise yourself if this investigation changed how you read the freezer aisle. Subscribe now. Every week we open another box the label hopes you never flip over. Stay sharp, read those labels, and keep rising.